I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to show you a decadent recipe for key lime pie. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be delicious. Now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make that crust, then we're gonna make the filling, and then we're gonna make the topping at the end. However, for me to begin, I need to zest these guys. Now these are key limes. Key limes are different than regular limes. I'll show you. These are typically called Persian limes, okay? And they're much larger. They have a much thicker rind. And they're not quite as acidic or aromatic as the key limes. Now, key limes are called key limes because lots of times they're grown down in Florida in the Keys. They are just accustomed to that weather and they do very well there. So we grow lots of those down south, and this is what they look like. They are usually picked a lot more yellow than these guys, and that's fine. But they try and, commercially they want to show you green limes, but whatever. So I got these guys at my Harvest Barn Country Markets in Southern Ontario. There's two locations. One is in St. Catharines and one is in Niagara on the Lake. And these guys were from Niagara on the Lake. They're going to be awesome, and I can't wait to do this. Now, my Uncle Tony, he usually makes a really great key lime pie, but I'm not down in Dallas anymore, so I don't have his beautiful pie, and I'm going to try and make one myself today. So I'm going to zest these guys first because you're going to need that as an ingredient for later before you juice these guys, okay? So I'm going to zest them all, and I only need a teaspoon of zest for this recipe. However, if you're already zesting these guys, you might as well go ahead and do all of them. Save your zest for another recipe down the road. Whenever I'm juicing citrus, I like to zest them before I do that because you can't do it after, okay? After it's already cut, you're not gonna wanna try and do that. But I save these guys, I dry it out on a nice little plate, and then I put it in a sealed jar, and I save it for all kinds of baking recipes or for dredging my meats for baking or anything like that. It's awesome. If you've never thought of doing that, don't waste that zest. It's so amazing, flavorful for all kinds of recipes, even if you're not going to use it today. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to finish these guys. I'm using about 24 key limes today. You're going to need enough limes to make about a half a cup of juice. Now, if you don't have that many limes, key limes, I should say, you can always add one of these guys just to beef it up to get up to your half a cup mark, okay? Now, yes, key limes are smaller, they have a thinner rind, they're much more aromatic, and they have a stronger acidity, okay? So they're really great for imparting awesome flavor, and they have a unique flavor compared to the other limes. Boy, what a treat. Now, I love lime, but I really love key limes. The smell of it is incomparable to regular lime, as much as I love it. It really does have the essence of Mexico. That's what Mexico vacations smell like to me. Margaritas have these great key limes in them. They're fantastic. It just takes me right back to Cancun or Puerto Vallarta. And now look at all the beautiful zest I have. A whole bunch of it. That's how much about 24 gives you. That's a lot. Now, it's way more than I need today. But again, I'm going to save this for some great recipes coming up. So I'm just going to throw these guys in a bowl, and we're going to get this pie crust ready. This is a graham cracker pie crust base, so let's get that started. Okay, let's get this crust going. I have a 9-inch pie plate. Use whatever one you like or you have. I'm using 1 1/4 cups of graham cracker crumbs. Crush up the crackers if you need to in the food processor, or you can purchase the crumbs like that. 2½ tablespoons of sugar, and I'm looking to get about 5 to 7 tablespoons of melted butter. Now, I just guesstimated with what I thought I would need with butter, and I just put it in there to melt in the microwave it took less than a minute. Okay, so I'm actually going to stir everything up in the pie plate to get it mixed, and then we're going to press it in. Why dirty another bowl if you don't need to? So in go the crumbs, in goes the sugar, and I'm going to measure out at least 5 tablespoons of the butter to begin with. And I'm just going to use my fingers to combine it. That gives you a better feeling of if they're moist enough and if it's all mixed through. Now, you want it to be the consistency of wet sand, like when you're a kid and you're on the beach and you're making, sand castles and things. You want it a little bit wet so that you can actually form it, but not too wet. That actually feels pretty good. I'm going to add just another ½ a tablespoon, and I'll be satisfied. Now let me show you the consistency. Doesn't that look like wet sand to you? It's exactly what it looks like to me. So now we're just going to use either your fingertips or the backs of your fingers, and you're just going to press that down. Make yourself a nice crust. Start with the bottom, and then you're going to work your way up the sides of the baking dish. Just make sure that everything's nice and coated. Pack it really well. Just make sure the whole pie plate is covered and it's packed nicely. This is what's going to hold that gorgeous limey filling. Make sure you leave enough for the sides of the baking dish. And just go through and press that against the sides. So once you've formed it into the pan and you've pressed it all around and you're satisfied with how it looks, you're going to put it into the preheated oven at 350 degrees, and it's going to go for about 10 minutes or until it's lightly browned, okay? And it's nice and set. In it goes. Okay, so while my crust is baking, that should give me enough time to juice these limes. So I'm just going to cut them in half, and I'm going to use my elbow grease, and we're going to juice them. If you have a juicer, feel free to use it. Oh, they smell so good. I wish I could smell them through the camera. Boy, the smell of these guys. What a treat, I'm telling you. A tropical treat when it's starting to get nice and cold here. I'm thinking it's going to take all these key limes. I might as well juice them all up. We can use the rest of the juice if there's any remaining for other recipes too. My mouth is watering just smelling these guys, cutting them in half. Wow. So be patient and use this as a therapeutic tool for yourself. Make sure you get all that juice out. Don't waste any. Let's see how much we have. Perfect timing. There's my pie crust. Okay, that's perfect. I used 22 limes and I got nearly 2/3 of a cup. So you can use between half and 2/3 of a cup. Now let's get this crust out of the oven. Okay, let's check this graham cracker pie crust. So here it is. It looks beautiful. It's lightly browned and it's set. It's going to set. I need this to cool completely before we fill it. So I'm going to leave it on a wire rack to do so. Okay, to make this filling, I have my mix master out, and I'm going to use the whipping attachment, okay? So up it comes, and I have my lime juice. So I'm going to add my lime juice right now. Nearly 2/3 of a cup. Anywhere between a half and 2/3 of a cup is great. If you need to beef it up with another regular lime, feel free to do so. Now I'm just going to get myself 3 egg yolks. I always find that using your fingers works the best. And right into the mixer. Now save these whites. You can use them for other things. Just not tonight. Now I'm going to mix this together for about 3 minutes until it's light pale in color and a little bit frothy, fluffy. Now I've started on lower speed and now I'm going up to the high speed. Okay, they're frothy. It's lighter in color. It smells awesome. Man, I wish you guys could smell that. All right, I am going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. All right, I'm going to bring it back up, and I'm going to whisk this on high speed for about 5 or 6 minutes. It's going to become really nice, light, and fluffy. All right, that's gone for a good 6 minutes. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to add at least 2 teaspoons of this gorgeous key lime zest. And I'm going to just stir it in on a low speed. Scrape down the sides. Now I'm preheating my oven to 350 degrees again, because that's what this is going to bake on. I'm going to show you what this stuff looks like. Now here's what it looks like. It's light and fluffy, and it has this gorgeous flecks of the lime zest in it. Awesome. I'm just going to test it because I want to. It's going to be delicious. Boy, that's good. Light, fluffy, airy, nice and sweet and tangy. Boy, that's good. Okay, my oven has come up to heat at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. My graham cracker crust is beautifully cool and ready to go. And I'm just going to pour this filling right into my crust. Don't waste a lick of this. I try to pour it in the middle as best I can so that it can fall as it wants to. guess the rest is mine. Now, I'm not gonna tip it because I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna put it right into the oven at 350 degrees. It's gonna go for about 10 or 15 minutes or until it's nice and set, okay? So I'll show it to you then. All right, let's check this pie. Now that's beautiful. Look at this beautiful pie. You can see that I'm tilting it and it's all set up. It's nice and firm and it's hot as all get out. So I'm gonna let this just cool. This needs to cool either in the refrigerator for a couple of hours or overnight. And then you can make a nice whipped topping, whipped cream, or you can, you know, I always say make it at home because it always tastes way better and it's easy to do. So you'll see me do that when we're ready to eat it this evening, all right? It's going to get cold now. Okay, so we've finished dinner now and our pie is ready to go. It's cool. So I'm gonna make some whipped cream for the top. We always make our own homemade whipped cream. You can buy the store-bought if you like, but this is really easy to do and I hope you'll try it because it's just way better, like outstandingly better, okay? I'm gonna use 1 cup of cream tonight. You can use up to 1.5 cups depending on how many people you're serving. And it's cold as can be, into my bowl. All right, so I'm gonna raise this up and I'm gonna whip this up about halfway to the point where I'm done. Then I'm gonna add the sugar. I'm using icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. It's just that it dissolves easier. However, I've used granulated sugar before when I've been stuck and it works perfectly fine, and I know my mom has done the same thing. So you can do the same thing. Now, whipping cream. You have to know that if you're gonna whip this and you're just gonna walk away, don't walk away, because if you whip it too much, all of a sudden it'll get all nice and fluffy, it'll get to its maximum, and then it'll go and it'll turn into butter. And not only will it turn into butter, it'll turn into like sweet butter. So it's not even gonna be the same kind of thing as butter. Then you wanna just put it on your, I don't know, croissants in the morning or something. So you don't want to do that. You want to wait, and you don't want it to go too far. You're going to whip it until it forms nice peaks that are going to stand up, okay? So about halfway through, I'm going to add the confectioner sugar. So up we go. We're going to start on lower, and we're going to work it up to a high whip. This is going to take a while, so just sit here while you do it. Okay, I'm starting to see that the whisk is making lines through it that are sort of holding. So we're probably about halfway there. You're gonna see that it's going to increase in volume. So I'm gonna put my confectioner sugar in. This is about 1.5 tablespoons, and we're gonna finish this up. Now, scrape down the sides if you have to. Now, don't leave now. I'm just gonna check it. It has a little ways to go. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more confectioner sugar today. We had a sweet ham for dinner, and I guess my taste buds are a little off, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. So that means everyone's will be. Really, it's just to your taste. And don't forget that the key lime pie that we're putting it on is already sweet too. We're almost there. You can see that it's forming a little bit of peak, but it's still soft. So a little bit further. Maybe just a couple more seconds. I think we're probably good. Yes, I like this look. So now it's all light and fluffy like a cloud, right? You can see that's holding that peak right there. Perfect, so we can't wait any longer. This could probably cool a little bit longer, but I think it's nice and firm, and I'm going to attempt to cut this, and we'll see how it goes. Now I'm gonna serve this with that whipped cream that we did. Beautiful whipped up clouds of deliciousness. And I have that key lime zest that I'm going to sprinkle over the top. That's how I want mine. So let's try this out here. Well, it seems to be cutting nicely. You can't even see it, see? It seems to be slicing up nicely. So the first piece is always the hardest to get out. Do your best, that's all you can do. We did good. We did really well. That sliced up beautifully. And as you can see, it came out really nicely. So it's nice and firmed up. Now, either you could have decorated the top, used a piping bag and decorate it with whipped cream properly, or you could just do like we're doing tonight and give a nice dollop on the top. And I'm going to sprinkle mine with some key lime zest. What a lovely piece of pie. There you have it, folks. That's how you make key lime pie. You can do it too. You can do it, I promise you. It's not that hard, just follow the instructions. It's It's gonna be so delicious. I'm gonna give this piece to my mom. Mom is in love. She said it's amazing, amazing pie. So let me cut myself a piece. We're gonna try it out. I can hear her in there going, talking. I don't know what she's saying. Dollop of whipped cream and a nice sprinkling of key lime zest. It looks pretty on the plate. So there you have it, folks. I mean, that couldn't be any more homemade than that, I would say. This is gonna be fantastic. Let's try it. The crust is nice and firm. There's so much to say. The crust is nice and firm. It's done well. The filling is light and fluffy. It melts in your mouth. And then you get hit with this serious tang of key lime. Boy, that's good. The little bits of lime zest in there, so good. Add on top that beautiful cloud of whipped cream, and you have a winning dessert. That is so good. Ridiculous. That's perfect. The filling is done so nicely. It's not bleeding. The crust isn't all soggy and stuff. Gorgeous. I hope that you try this recipe. You're gonna love it. Everyone's gonna be impressed. I just love key lime, the flavor of key lime. So intense, it's so awesome. Anyhow, that's how you do it. That's how you make key lime pie. All right? I hope that you try it, and make sure you get out to Harvest Barn Country Markets and get your Mexican key limes, because that's what you need to make this awesome dessert, okay? Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and you can find me syndicated on Roku. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com and subscribe. Interact with us. Let us know what's going down in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye. I'm gonna need another piece. Boy, that's good.